I don't know why it does that.
I wonder if it has like some major like security thing that's set to it.
I have no idea.
Because mine don't ever do that.
I don't know. Hey, y'all. How's everybody doing? We're back. We're live.
Yep. Maximize Monday.
Come on in the room. Had good church yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Sure did. It was really, really good.
And we thank God for what's going on. And, we appreciate the Lord for that. Uh, so come on in. Please do us a favor and share and get somebody on. Uh, it's getting warm out there.
I know. It's starting to really feel like summer.
I know.
After all this rain we got.
I thought they kept saying it was supposed to rain most of the day today, and I guess they keep pushing it back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look. Save me on my water bill. I ain't got to water my grass.
Oh, I hear that. It's the arthritis. Arthritising.
Look, you take some arthritis to save money. So come on in, y'all. Please do us a favor. Share. Hey, Vicky. We see the numbers coming on. Sorry, we started a minute late, but we are here. And come on in the room. Hey, Anjanette.
Hey there.
Watching for the first time, please type VIP in the chat. And also, if you're one of our regulars and you haven't, you normally don't say hello to us. Hey, Helene, shout us out. Say hello. Love to know who's watching. We see the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I know some of y'all, unless you at work and you can't say nothing because you're not supposed to be watching. You don't want no proof.
They're watching. We had the Worship and Tech open house on Saturday.
Okay.
And a couple of people had mentioned that they watch and whatnot. But I was like, oh, okay. So you're there. Just type hello so we can shout you out and you can have a great conversation.
Yeah, and all that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think, hey, Joanne, what's up from California? How you doing?
Riverside.
Since we were off last week because of Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I didn't know it was a federal holiday until like last week when somebody said. I knew it was a holiday, but I didn't know it was like a take off work holiday.
Yeah.
In honor of Juneteenth, we took off. And we were going to talk about something the week before.
I think.
Oh, I know what it is.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Denise, how you doing?
Hey.
We were talking about ended on the strength. Here it is. Let me back up real quick. That in today's culture, being uniquely you is considered a sign of strength.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that say about our culture? That you have to be strong to show a picture of yourself unfiltered, unedited, no makeup, waist trainer, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever, or this, that. And that's considered strong. We've gotten so used to presenting an image of what we want people to see about us.
Mm-hmm.
That so basically you have to be strong enough to be truthful because the pressure to lie is that let's not use lie because people don't like that word lie, even though it is a lie. Enhance or change. It's like I know somebody that buys clothes to post it online and then takes them back to the store.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it not like I'm a model, but makes it look like this is what I wear on a normal day to day. I mean, if you're like a model and you're modeling clothes and stuff like that and all that, I get it. Hey, so
usually models who are like successful models, they just get all that stuff for free.
That's true.
Same thing for influencers who are like who've made it.
Mm-hmm.
They get all those things for free. But the problem is when you're starting out in the business, right?
Mhm.
You're trying to look like you're at that level, but you're not getting the stuff for free. It costs a lot of money
I get
that
that.
people don't necessarily have or aren't prepared for.
I get that. But then when the people come to find out in research, they realize you're not who you present yourself to be. And then
Mhm.
it's everybody's judging, everybody's hating.
Mhm.
Like it's different if like I bought something from X, Y, and Z place and I'm trying to be like a, whatever. And I put it on there. I got this from so and so, so and so.
Mhm.
At least I'm being honest about, you know,
Right.
but I'm not, I'm trying to be so nice when I say this. I, I can't pay my bills, but I have the money to present this image.
Mhm. It's because all about the hope and the dream, negating everything else over here.
Yeah, I mean, this is the goal to have your life match what you present. I know I'm sounding like an old timey, get off my lawn, old man.
Well, geezer.
I know I'm getting there, but the pressure to fit in is that strong, you know,
Mhm.
or to look a certain way or to be a certain way. But the problem is you have to go home to you anyway. So that's not the real you.
Do they though? Do you?
They know they're living in denial. They know the real deal.
Mhm.
You know, I, I said it on point last week. I saw this picture of these ladies, you know, they one with makeup, one without makeup, two pictures. And I'm
Mhm.
like, and everybody comments like that person looks nothing like same person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but again, it's the presentation. And the problem is, I think, and again, I don't want to sound like the old man yelling at the clouds. The picture,
Mhm.
or the person saying doom, doom. But all this pressure that we allow ourselves to succumb to cannot be good for our mental health
Mm-mm.
long term, because you can only run from the real you, but for so long, it's going to come back again. Because at the end of the day, you got to deal with you.
Yeah.
And all of us, don't get me wrong, all of us, we can't present everything to everybody. I'm not saying that at all. All of us wear a mask during the course of the day, because if you're having a hard day, you can't walk around, tell
Right.
everybody your business. You got to wear somewhat. But at least when you and God, take the mask off, or don't act like you're the mask. Just, I'm wearing this because where I got to go, I can't be breaking down the whole time I'm there.
Mhm.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But with the advent of AI and all this other stuff like that, I'm nervous about. We talked about it earlier about the 3 seconds thing.
Mhm.
I'm really literally worried about our mental health, and the studies are already showing it that this technology and all this presentation pressure is rising uptick of depression and
Yeah.
anxiety, and because you're trying to fit a mold, fit a model, and it's got to come a time in your life where you learn to be okay with you while you're growing and developing you.
Mhm. Yeah. Now, I think as a society, we put a lot of emphasis on labels. In terms of what you're wearing, are you cool or not? Who you're connected to. That, like you said, we kind of lose sight of who our identity or what our identity really is,
Mhm.
because it's so much of an outward "what do people think about me" thing,
Mhm.
and that's really sad. And it's starting so young now.
Yeah, it is.
It's
But
scary.
it is, and what you just said sounds like high school.
Mhm.
Because when you're in high school, you're trying to fit in, you're trying to have all the stuff to, and the goal is to grow out of that as an adult.
Mhm.
But I guess with all this extra pressure going on, it feels like we're back in high school again.
But that's the thing, because people are able to have that type of existence now, for lack of better words, and get paid for it. It's a job.
No, if you're getting paid for it.
I'm talking about it in a bad way,
Oh, okay, okay, all right.
because I've worked in that industry in terms of fashion and whatnot, and people are very cliquish.
Mhm.
Very cliquish. It's very much like high school.
Okay.
If you don't meet this look or have this connection to brands or whatever, you're below me.
Mhm.
very high school. And so there's that desire to be accepted by people who don't really want you.
Yeah. I mean, I still remember this young lady. I said the story before. She had like maybe 3 or 4 million followers on Instagram, and she went to go pay a bill somewhere, and she was late on the bill because she didn't have the money to pay the bill.
Mm-hmm.
And the person at the counter recognized her, like, "Ain't you so and so, so and so?" And she was so embarrassed because she was presenting this image of this lifestyle, but was behind on the bill. And the girls look at her like, "I thought you were supposed to be this." It comes to confront you. I mean, eventually she kind of got it together and started really, stuff started working out for her. But it just feels like we put a lot of unnecessary pressure on ourselves for things, for looks to compensate when things and looking a certain way aren't going to compensate. All these things are fleeting. They're all going to go away eventually. No matter how much you try to preserve your youthful look, it's not going to be there forever. Yeah. And no matter what you do, you can do all the Botox in the world, you can do all this. It's not going to. I mean, but people, and I get it. It's harder on women than it is on most men, because most men age. George Clooney and all them, they're distinguished, right?
Silver foxes.
Yeah, they're yeah. And then ladies. She looks like she's old. Well, guess what? She is.
Yeah, she is old.
Old is to get old, right? But we build our lives on these fleeting things rather than things that will last us when time changes things.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about a loneliness problem now with people. We're around more people. We're more connected to people. We're more lonely now than we were before.
Mm.
I think it's from all these false connections and all these, our ability to put up false images of ourselves. Like I've seen people stand next to a BMW and take a picture with it, act like it was theirs. Like the random BMW or the Rolls Royces on the street, and they walk up next to it and pose, and somebody take a picture of them with it. Like,
yeah, it's a whole thing. It really is.
I know. If you're faking who you are, you can't be happy with who you are. I'm just a firm believer of that too. You just can't. A lot of, everybody has insecurities. Nobody's beyond them. Nobody likes every little thing about themselves. But we can't let those things we don't like define all of who we are. But I think because we can't change it in real life, because online allows us to change it for visual purposes that makes it feel better. Because I can't change it in real life, but at least I can change it here. But again, you got to go back.
So that's a sad way to live.
Yeah.
That's sad.
But when you think about it, it's true though. Because at least I can change this. I can change how I want people to see me until they see me in person. Then it's, I'm trying not to give examples. I don't want to be offensive to anybody.
Yeah, there's this girl who went viral a couple of weeks ago because she makes like these really, grand YouTube videos.
Okay.
And so the video goes from her looking one way, which would, just like normal, and then she goes like that, and then it's like a supermodel. And so the question is, which one is it? Because there's no way you could be the same person.
Right.
So I think she's using it as a way to still kind of stay incognito and private, but there are so many people who are young girls aspiring to look like the image she's putting out there that's fake. And that's the part that gets me, is like, what message are you sending to these girls? That you can't be yourself and be pretty or whatever. You have to do this to get attention from whomever, Yep.
That's true. And confidence will get you further. Honestly, will get you further than a lot of in a certain look. That's more attractive than a certain look. And I don't think a lot of people get that. That's one of the biggest things. But you're right, and the kids, they're so ingrained in this that it's hard for them to come out of it. And you're right, they're growing up like, I gotta look like this in order to be pretty. I gotta look like this in order to be.
I gotta wear that to get
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
yeah. Because in my generation, it was the girls in the music videos.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a lot of music videos out now. They still do them, but not. It wasn't like then where you had your MTV Raps, you had 106 in Park. When MTV actually played music videos during the course of the day.
Right.
The good girls where I don't look like the video girls, and it's like, well, it's fine. Now it's more far reaching.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to access those, different platforms on your phone.
Yeah.
But I think it goes back to the garden. Eve being dissatisfied and the devil playing on that dissatisfaction and says, look, this is, if you eat this, you'll get what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Be what you want. She ends up getting it. And it doesn't do for her like she thinks it does. And that's like, for a modern example, she ate the fruit. We go shopping, but then you still have that hole in your heart after you got all those nice clothes.
Yep.
We use things to compensate for what we feel we're missing internally.
Mm-hmm.
Only to find out that those things don't feel anything. They actually just make it worse.
Yeah.
And the devil knows how to play on our insecurities and learns how to play on our dissatisfaction with stuff. Again, nobody likes everything, but overall, we're supposed to have some confidence in who God made us.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we're not careful, the serpent will play on that because he studies, he pays attention, and we'll end up reaching for something that will cause us to fall rather than something that's going to lift us up.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, you broke trying to fit a certain thing. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I know. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I sound like I'm not a broken record. And that old man, like might call me a geezer. It just, it's just.
Yeah.
If the people that manage these sites don't let their kids on them, that tells you something. That tells you something when they don't let their own children on it.
Yeah.
But yet we let ours on there. Or as adults, we spend so much time on them. When the people that create them don't even spend that much time on them. Their goal is to get everybody addicted to it. And usually that's by drama, negativity, by creating this image.
All that stuff sells. Yep.
Yeah. I was talking to a young lady. Oh, I wish I had abs like that. She was looking at like a fitness album, fitness cover. And I said, the person on the cover doesn't have abs like that either. She looked at me.
Photoshop is very real.
She looked at me. She's like, and I'm like, that's Photoshop. They present the best image.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad. I want mine to look just like hers. I'm like, hers don't look like that. Don't get me wrong. She had them, but they weren't as clean as that, though.
Yeah. No, there's so much with photography, even just thinking about in like food photography, like a lot of these things that you see in marketing, the food looks so good. Mm-hmm. Most of it's fake.
Yeah.
All of it's fake when in these pictures. So, like I said, the presentation that these people are doing and that people are trying to live up to, it's not real.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. I think they showed like the behind the scenes, like the hamburger thing and how they pin the stuff together to make it look like, and then when you get it, when you go to the store, you get it, it's like, that doesn't match at all.
It doesn't look the same here. Yeah.
But the presentation, the image, and I'm not against presentation. I'm not against image. I understand there can be some filtering take place, but not at the expense of who you really are.
Right.
I'm not against makeup, but makeup shouldn't give you another face. It should it should enhance what you have, not give you I mean, when I saw they had Spanx for men and all that stuff, I was like, okay, we it's the guys too.
Yeah.
And it's not like men didn't have stuff beforehand. It just wasn't as talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm just nervous about our mental health as the years go along. because the more technological we are, the more our emotional and mental health starts to suffer. I'm thinking because, I talked to somebody online I never met that I have a real connection with that person. You don't even know that person.
That's a whole nother conversation.
I know.
Because the stories I've heard is just crazy.
Yeah.
Like I was watching it was Dr. Phil. And this one lady was older, started a relationship online for like at least 6 months. Of course, she's asked to give money. And so she gave money. She gave this guy like $75,000. Never meeting him.
Mm-hmm.
It is just that longingness to be connected to someone
Mm-hmm.
who would like her for who she was.
Broke up. Was the last thing you just said?
Who that longingness to be with someone who loved her and appreciated her for who she was and what she looked like. Like it's just sad the how deep it is, the wound is for people to.
Yeah.
I mean, she made herself broke.
Yeah. But my thing is how you've never met the person and they like you for who you are. They don't even know you. They've never seen you in person. They don't know. Wow.
Yep. So get this. Dr. Phil showed her that guy was fake. She went and did it again with somebody else.
That actually happens a lot. It sounds like a Lifetime movie. Yeah, it does. Mm-hmm. But that happens a lot, though. That the need for companionship, and the pandemic made it worse.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that can be by themselves longer than others, but we're not built to be by ourselves forever. And even though I wasn't against the lockdown, I was for it.
Yeah,
we can't ignore the negative effects of it on people's psyche.
Mm-hmm.
The pressure of just your safety, the fear of what's up, Kevin? We're having a whole section about you. I'm playing. I'm joking. The fear of getting sick, all those things, and then the isolation that affects people's psyche. It really does. It affects people's mentality. We're created for community.
Mm-hmm.
You can't know yourself by yourself. You're not supposed to be by yourself all the time. Some people can be alone a little longer than others, but we're really seeing. I love you, Karen. I'm just messaging you. We're really seeing the effects of that isolation more and more,
mm-hmm.
and what it did to people's psyche, and how it, the emotional health of a person. So what we saw was people start reaching,
mm-hmm.
go out and do a lot. So they start doing other things. But I think that we need to, there are people that during the pandemic, they use it as a way to self-reflect and grow. And some people use it as a chance to go out and do crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But we're going to see the psychological damages more and more from that. Again, I get why we did it. I'm not against the lockdown. It was appropriate at the time. Mm-hmm. But we can't act like there was some emotional negative things that came out from it.
Yeah, for sure. And now, trying to get back to life as normal, like that's scary too.
Yeah, it is
for people.
And now China was a little harder than ours. There was a this is crazy. There was when the pandemic first started, when China shut down,
mm-hmm.
there was a lady that she went on her first date with this guy. And she went over his house, and while she was over there, that's when the lockdown happened.
Oh no!
So she had to stay at this guy's house.
Oh.
It could not leave. China's is more strict. She could not leave the man's house.
For how long?
I don't know. I don't know when she left, but for a couple, I think she had to stay there for a while.
Oh no!
They locked it down. They locked it down.
Mm-hmm.
And she had to stay at this guy's house for like a few days or for like a few weeks. Living with somebody you don't know.
One way to get a man, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Somebody you don't know, but I mean, but
That's crazy.
yeah, who you telling? Um, but all I'm saying is that pay attention to your mental and your emotional health, y'all.
Hmm.
Use these times as a chance to grow, to heal, to learn about you. Go get some counseling, or go
Yeah.
pray, do all that stuff. But go ask God to help you heal of these things, so we won't. Whenever this particular season ends, I know people act like COVID's over, but it's not. This season ends, we're not psychologically damaged from all of it.
Yeah.
Um, and don't fall into the subtle traps of the devil of doing things just to feel accepted. It's like we take perceived acceptance as acceptance. Like people that don't know us, the comments charging us up. It's an issue when 20 people can in your comments talk about how good something was, and you focus on the one person that didn't like it.
Right. Yeah. You have to know where your wounds are, and be able to say, okay, if this is something that's going to trigger my wounds, I don't need to do it.
Yes.
Not at all. And I remember before I started doing the whole influencer thing, I sat down with my family. I was like, is this something that I really need to do? Because I know how mean people can be on the internet.
Yeah.
Am I okay and ready to be able to do that and be okay? And so, like, just having that real conversation, with yourself and others before just jumping into things that might be a little bit more detrimental in the long run.
Yeah. I mean, that was a good thing to think about, to consider all of you're putting your life on public display, which means that public display,
yeah,
and not worry about what all the constant criticism people, and plus those people that just go on people's pages just to say stuff negative just because for fun.
Just because,
you take it personal when they're doing it on purpose just to rile up controversy.
Yeah.
But I think, but we do stuff. I love me, but your whole you is filtered. Body positivity, but you filter everything instead of showing your real body. We do stuff like that. I love me and I'm accept me, but then you talking about everybody don't like you and all your haters and all the stuff like that. It started. It's to me, it's the same principle as the fall, and it just keeps repeating. It's the same scenario. The devil feeds on our insecurities, our dissatisfaction, and then we reach for something that we should not reach for, and it costs us something. Rather than going to God, we reach for something else, and then we end up dealing with the consequences of that reach.
Yep.
I gotta go, y'all. I'm sorry for ranting.
It's all very true.
We're dysfunctional. Something wrong with us. All of us human beings. Something wrong with all of us. Anyway, anything you want to share? What's going on tonight or tomorrow?
So, of course, don't forget we have our, I lost my screen. Here we go. We have our Embrace class tonight for new members in person at 7 p.m. as well as online. You should be receiving the link if you're taking those classes. So that's tonight at 7. On Tuesday, we have our Men's Safe House Ministry. I just talk about real issues, real things that men face in the kingdom in life. So that's on Tuesday. Wednesday, we have Red Impact at 7 p.m. And then, of course, on Saturday, On Point Radio, talk about any and everything that's happening. There's been a lot going on lately with Bishop and Pastor Nick at 9 a.m. Full day of worship on Sunday, starting at 8 a.m. for our virtual service, 11 a.m. for in-person. But this Sunday is also very special because it's our first one that we're having baptism and communion in the evening starting at 5:45, right?
Yes.
So really excited for that. If you need to be baptized or have questions, you can call Sister Faison at extension 114 for more information.
Yep. So it's going to be all good. We have first Sunday communion, baptism. It's going to be a good time in the Lord. All right, y'all. With all hearts and minds are clear, God bless you all, and we'll see you later.